Okay. So sit in cross-legged position. I only say that because we will do Virasana unless your back is bothering you, and then I would sit in Virasana. And then adjust your hands so that they're pronated on the tops of the thighs, and see if you can create that kind of upward lift to the trunk, to the side ribs, to the spine. Allow yourself to feel now the shoulder blades absolutely flat on the back, which will help you circularize your armpit chest from the back to the front. And just make sure that the arms are down or just draped down from the shoulder, held loosely. The trapezius skin, now that it's getting colder, especially for those of you who perhaps, have dogs and walk their dogs in the morning, one tends to lift their shoulders up to the ears. So sense that the trapezius, that inverted triangle shaped muscle, which is very wide and broad, beginning at the back of the shoulder to about the middle back, cascades down. And then the cervical spine lengthening upwards toward the ceiling without lifting the chin up. Adjust the head well if you need to. Use your hands to do that so that the ears are perpendicular to the floor. And then finally, close your eyes. And then if you want to today, and we usually don't do this, you can fold your palms in the middle of the chest into Namaskar Mudra. And sense with the palms in Namaskar Mudra that you're taking an inner bow to your dedication and interest to all your aspirations in life. That gesture of an inner bow to yourself. Bow to this body, bow to this life, no matter what the conditions are. And then you can replace the hands on the roots of the thighs. And as we bow to this body, this is the very first foundation of mindfulness of the body. To sit and know that you're sitting. Sense that you're also inwardly bowing to visiting thoughts and mind states, perhaps regarding them with wonder, perhaps posing the question, can we bow, can we be patient to the mysteries of life, not being caught up in dualistic thinking. Opening up inwardly to the environment around you, to the sounds, both internal and external. Feeling less bothered by. Sense that you're bowing to it all, making peace with it all. Not attaching to anything, nor pushing anything away. What will this allow you to do is actually you might feel that you can hold everything in a larger container. And then you can silently repeat the Bodhisattva vow. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And then finally, when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, you can lift your gaze. Open your eyes and stretch out your legs. So we'll start in Supta Baddha Konasana. Do use a belt. If you have two blankets along with your bolster for vertical trunk support, put the blankets at the corners of the thighs in this manner with the belt on. So I'll just show quickly, just because we're staying a bit of time. And for many people whose knees aren't down, this outer thigh support will help. So it's It's actually underneath the outer thigh, not so much the knee. And then head support in addition. For some of you, that might be necessary. And then if you often don't use the belt, what I would say, use the belt today. So that you're constantly changing it up. Remember that the belt, have it touching the middle of the sacrum, not so much the waist. And then Janet, what I would say, if you want to do the Feldenkrais movement, you can do that sort of, as we stay here, Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe about 2 minutes, we'll probably stay for 4, and then do the Feldenkrais for your arm. So this is the way, as I said the other day, this is the way it's taught most. So have vertical trunk support. Your trunk is supported. Yeah. So Yukiko, you might be doing it a different way with your feet support, and that's fine if your back hurts. Otherwise, trunk support. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what you did. It's just that, yeah, I just want you to be, okay. That's fine. All right, head support if you need it. Just relax. So use this. A few of you said that you were tired. I think Zoom makes, I think this life makes people tired. I know that to one of the classes that I was going to most recently, we would always hear that the students were tired, and then we could do like 4 supta poses. Just relax, particularly relax the throat, have the arms down by the side. Turn the arms from the inside out, backs of the hands pressing into the floor, which is a healthy action for the shoulder. If you need to adjust the head again, do so that the neck is long. Observe the breath, inhalation, and exhalation. And of course, in this posture, in this geometry, that exhalation is quite noticeable. That's why it's so calming. And then again, use this pose as a means to move from fragmentation, from a fragmented state to an integrated state, which is really, what we're aiming to do. Always in our lives, not just our time on the mat, but to be fully integrated, mindful of what's happening in the moment, not being somewhere else. And then when you want, those of you, I should have said this earlier, but I know some of you have a rod, Lubna, dowel in your room. When we take the arms overhead, you can hold it. Yeah, that's it, Lubna. So that also, Marina, this might help to have in your nearby vicinity a room, a dowel, so that it'll help you to keep the arms straight. Janet, the same thing. Yeah, firm those elbows. One of the signs of aging joints is that they bend. And that's just, we know that. So those of you who have trouble taking the arms overhead and keeping them straight, hold the dowel. You might have to go wider than the shoulders in order to keep the arms straight, and that's fine. And then go to Baddha Hasta, bound hand, holding the wrists or the forearms or the upper arms if you're more mobile. Wait there. Elongate the outer armpits, the side walls of the chest, but continue to press the feet strongly into each other. And now when you go to the other side, make sure, it seems like a moot point. Instead of just flopping the arms, extend the arms fully. You can hold it down, those of you who have it, and then go for the other clasp. So in between Baddha Hasta on 2 sides is Urdhva Hasta. Good. So if anyone who was here on Tuesday and has feedback, what they learned, or perhaps to incorporate in their own leg stretches in your own practice, say, if you were wanted to do some leg stretches tomorrow, I'd be really interested in hearing, or you can email me. Okay, now return the arms down by the side, but do stretch out Urdhva Hastasana first. So go from the flexion to the extension and then return the arms down. It's just a good habit. So the arms are extended, Baddha Hasta, extended, Baddha Hasta, extended, and then down. Some of it be interesting. Some of you, I was expecting to hear this. Some of you might have felt that additional calf stretches might have been helpful. We did do a variety, and I'm going to incorporate something slightly different here when we do Parsvarottanasana. So now, when you're ready, take the hands to the backs of the thighs, draw the feet to the floor as you draw the thighs up, and simply roll to your side and stretch out your legs for the knees. Lindsay, Lindsay V, we're sitting, Lindsay V, I was calling Lindsay V when even Lindsay M wasn't here on Tuesday, just a habit. So now Lindsay V, when you do Supta Virasana, maybe do the chair and the bolster. Okay, so we're gonna sit in Virasana. I like to sit, I really do think it's better to sit. We're doing Virasana and coming back in Supta Virasana. So here's basically the setup. The block for Virasana, the trunk support for Supta Virasana or higher. And then I want you to do Urdhva Hastasana. And I would take the arms out to the side, Urdhva Hastasana, and then we'll do Urdhva Baddha-Angulyasana. Janet, this will be good. If it's too much Urdhva Baddha-Angulyasana, interlacing the hands, do a wrist split or just hold the belt. That's another option. Marina, same thing. Okay, so let's see in profile. That'd be the very best way for me to see it. Yeah. Lindsay, you can sit in Virasana. Did you try on the medium block side? Was that too? Okay. Just try it that way. You might. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, don't do it. Okay, so let's say good Yokiko. Virasana. Now watch, so you're leaning back slightly, my friend. No, that's way too much. Yeah, just, yeah, shoulders over hips. Pronate the palms on the roots of the thighs. Now that will really help. Good, Gail. All right, now Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. That's good, Lindsay V. Yeah, just raise the height. You don't have to do Supta Virasana. You can do it with the chair or just as you were doing with straight legs. Okay, now bring the hands down to the crown of the head, interlace the palms, let the elbows go out. Janet, this is actually, this intermediate step is really good for that restriction in the arm, and then reach up. Reach up. Don't worry, Janet, if the arms fall forward, slightly forward of the ears. Lubna, see if you can kick the thoracic spine in. Yeah, so here's your mantra, Lubna. Arms back, but top of the sternum forward. That's everyone's mantra, not just Lubna. Top of the sternum forward, arms back. Good, Marina. Now bring the hands down. That's it. Change the swap. But so this position is really helpful. That's why I usually do it Urdhva Baddha-Angulyasana from here versus here. This elbow out and the arm is bent really helps us fix the shoulder blade on the back and go out, go up, go straight up. Lindsay, you're slightly leaning backward, it looks to me. Yeah, go straight up. So imagine your hands are actually on the roots of the thighs. Good, Julia, lifting up. Okay, now take the arms down and do Supta Virasana. If anyone's knees bother them, you can do it Supta Virasana with the chairs I've shown. And if I need to show it, I'll be happy to do so. Or you can do it, Lindsay V, straight leg. So you could do 2 blocks, something underneath you. So this is more like I'll say Supta Virasana, but it's really more like a Paryankasana. So you can support the buttocks with a smidge of height. And then this is for someone whose knees bother them in Supta Virasana. And then you go back. Okay. All right. Others of you in Supta Virasana, not too much support, just the right amount of support, not too little. Remember that the bolster has to catch the back waist, not the sacrum. Ellen, you can move your setup, my friend, a little further back because That green bolster is touching your buttocks, and I'd like to see it further back. The other thing, Ellen, is it's better to put the blankets to make it the same shape. So as the bolster, then it's more, your body will then be more even. Okay. Belt is an option. If your thighs splay out, use the belt, but do have the thigh, Ellen, that's better, have the thighs apart. Yeah, Ellen, it'll work much better. And then we'll see if you need the 2 blankets. And that could be head support maybe. I don't know if you need that much. You'll see. Okay. All right, Supta Virasana. We're going to come back to this pose. So this first Supta Virasana, think of it like an index pose. Janet, that's really good. Now take the arms overhead. Those of you who have the rod, why not use it? Marina, that's a really good setup. Yeah, really good setup. The one thing I would say, Marina, it'd be nice if you could, it would be a little bit more like if the knees were supported on the bolster, that could be good too. So you have that more of that Supta Virasana shape. So the feet press, the shins are at a slant, and the knees up. Let me just see. I can show that to you. So it's more like this. Marina, just take a glance, my friend. So my knees are up, my feet are down, my shins are slightly raised, and then just imagine I had another bolster. So that's more. Lindsay V, you take a look also on the screen. This is Supta Virasana with chair and bolster. It's really chair and 2 bolsters, but I was lazy not to get the second one. Okay, you know what I mean. So the feet are on the floor, the knees are smidge raised. That's good. Keep the arms overhead and then go back to Baddha Hasta when you're ready. Yes, if you need to come up, Julia, and take less height or go flat, do so. Janet, you can start your Feldenkrais now. That's good. Now, what I want you to do, take your hands in the arches of the feet, those of you in Supta Virasana, and now press the feet, press the shins, and lift the buttocks up. The buttocks up. So take the hands to the arches of the feet. Now lift your buttocks up off the floor. That's it, Lubna. And then go down again. Lift the buttocks up so you get more of that frontal thigh stretch. Lift up. Ellen, that's good. Now press the feet, press the shins, and lift up. And lift up. Okay, now when you're ready, press the feet, inhale, come up and stretch out your legs. And we'll try this, well, actually, what I'll say is this. Some people, in order to do Utthita Bekasana, I didn't know if I'm explaining this because also Polly uses these videos on a regular basis. So some people, when they do Utthita Bekasana, they need the strap across the foot. But I would say, that seems intelligent to do, but what's better than doing it this way is, and also this is for Catherine, who's also not here, but would be helpful to this, is to actually have the kneecap on the seat of the chair, because the chair surface provides something to push into. Now, I know many of you don't need that, so you don't have to do the chair, but those of you, I don't think anyone here does the strap, but I'm saying this for others who do the recording, then most of you can do it in this manner, which near the wall. Now, I don't mind if the thigh goes out to the side on the way to get there, but then I want the thighs running parallel like you did in Supta Virasana, but not touching. Marina, that looks a little high. I mean, one of the things you'll see is when you have the chair seat, Marina, you can lift the pubic bone, right side of the pubic bone, as you simultaneously abduct, Julia, on the standing side leg. Abduct, don't lean into the standing leg. Change sides when you're ready. Yes, Lubna, those of you can hold the foot, please do. So no one needs a strap, but if you need it, I would just say change your position from the strap to use the chair. And then push the knee, Marina, into the chair and lift the left side of the pubic bone up. Good. Lindsay V, yes, hold the foot so that you're getting the shoulder blade work. Watch, Lindsay V, how the chest comes slightly forward in this pose. And that's if the groin is restricted in any way, that's exactly what the chest does. Janet, you can take the knee slightly back. I should say thigh and knee slightly back. Okay, well done. All right, now we're doing the same pose, prone, which is the more classical iteration. So you're going to go on your belly. All right, I think you all know this. I'll take you through it. Now actually, we didn't do this on Tuesday, hence again, another reason for repeating lessons. Who did I see Cobra? Oh, Andrea wasn't here. She was here Tuesday. So Cobra, let me just explain something. You know, I know that, many people go to PT and Cobra seems to be different in PT than it is in Iyengar yoga. But the way it's done in Iyengar yoga, and I'm not saying that it's the best way or the right way, I'm not going to be dogmatic about it, but in our particular method, we place the palms right beside the armpit chest. I know that many of you have seen it where the forearms are here in this position and then you go up. And I'm not saying that's wrong or bad. It's just right now we're doing Bhujangasana, Cobra pose in the Iyengar method. So you're lying prone, you're turning your thighs out, and then you're keeping the arms slightly bent, looking forward from the bridge of the nose, and you go up. But before you go up, slide the trunk forward. All right, so here we go. Let me see the placement of the hands. Spread the palms well. Yes, arms are bent. Good, Marina. Now, from here, turn the thighs from the inside out. The feet are in Virasana, hip width apart. Move the buttock flesh toward the backs of the thighs and chisel the tailbone in. It really is, it's almost impossible not to chisel the tailbone in because you're prone. All right, now rise up and slither forward. Slither forward from the sides of the navel and then rise up. But keep the arms bent so you're not rising up like Urdhva Mukha. And then try not to lead Val with the chin. I know that's challenging. We tend to push the chin forward. Sense, Val, that you're looking forward right here from the bridge of the nose. That will help you. That's a good instruction. Ellen, excellent. Now down you come. Do one more time, and then we're going to take the Bhujangasana again between the Ekapada Bekasanas. Okay, up you go. Slither forward. You're doing something. It won't be observable from the screen. And rise up. The chest, the upper shelf of the chest should clear the floor. Okay, now try lifting the hands off the floor. Try lifting the hands off the floor quickly. So they're in that same placement, just lifting slightly off the floor, like a no weight bearing Chaturanga Dandasana, and down you come. All right, now put the left forearm in front of your chest, just like you did in the Uttita Bekasana. So here's the thing, and I want to just go over this. When you bend your right leg, the leg tends to splay out, but then you have to bring it on its median line. So it's true, you can let the leg go out a little bit, but then you have to stay on the median line. So with that said, bend the right leg, and now start to bring the foot toward the floor, because that will help you get your hand on the foot, and then place the thumb, index finger, actually as much of your hand on the top of the foot, and then quickly turn your wrist, lift your elbow up, and aim the inner right heel, not so much to the buttock, but to the floor. Good, Luna. Now press the left arm forearm down and look up. These look good. Ellen, just watch the thigh because it's splaying out. Yeah, can see from the contrast of the greens. If you're not doing Ekapada, you can repeat Uttita Bekasana, or you can do a front-facing, Lindsay, if you want a front-facing Pajva Kunchanasana with the foot on the chair, because that's also a big groin stretch, or even Warrior One. Okay, change sides when you're ready. Right forearm in front. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I made a mistake. Do Cobra. Cobra in between is always good. Cobra in between. I forgot to do this on Tuesday. That's it. And then lift the hands up and hold yourself up. not from by pressing into the floor, but you're strengthening those posterior back muscles. Good. Okay, now right forearm in front, then the left leg. Lindsay, you can even back up the leg a little bit if you want more groin, but not at the expense of the sacrum. Because it, you know, the further back you go is harder on the sacrum. Okay, good, Val. Lift the, yeah, use your right forearm pressing down, lift. Now see if you can bring the left side of your armpit. See how the left armpit's staying back, everyone? Bring it around, Val. Bring the left armpit around. Left armpit, it wants to stay back, Lindsay V. Bring it around. So this piece of your left side of your body, bring it back. Good, Janet. Okay, and now let's see how the Utthita Baddhakasana, the Ekapada Baddhakasana, I want you to repeat Supta Virasana. Now, this is a very good sequence for those of you who want to improve, I hate to say that word, but those of you who want to sense some ease in Supta Virasana, this is a good sequence. But first, let me just say one thing. Okay, so just to make it a little bit of variation, we're going to do it now from Paryankasana. So you'll set the blocks. Again, Lindsay V, you can do Marina on the chair watch or straight legs. Let me go over this. So you're going to do Paryankasana on blocks, the high side. We spent a lot of time on this some time ago. The buttocks need not touch. And then you extricate the blocks and you figure out the support you need based on what you just did, be it a bolster. Ellen, I think you'll need less height. Now, anyone whose knees are bothering them, look, you can do the Paryankasana with the two blocks, put the pelvis on a blanket and do straight legs. I remember not so long ago, but maybe it is long, maybe it's over a month, 6 weeks now, where we spent about an hour on all the Paryankasana. So anyone whose knees bother them, Lindsay V, Marina, you can do Paryankasana in this mat. And even a blanket at the back of the block that receives the head. Remember, you might find that you need less height in this Supta Virasana. Now, the interesting thing is you may not need less height today, but perhaps if you were to practice this sequence a month, you might find that the second Supta Virasana, you need less height. See that your chin is not lifting up in the air, keep that neck long. So we're taking the second Supta Virasana from now Paryankasana, and in order to see how Ekapada Baddhakasana and Utthita Baddhakasana informed this pose. That's what you need to get out of it. Nothing more than that. Do belt the legs if those thighs splay out. Remember, you're sitting between your heels. Turn the inner knees to the outer knees and then touch the arms overhead. Use the down because that seems to work for many of you. The other thing I can say is Marina and Lindsay V is that when you want to stretch the hip flexors and Lindsay, and this is what I was referring to by a front-facing Pajra Kunchanasana. So just watch you guys, you see this. You were kind of doing that on the floor, Lindsay, but this back leg enjoys that groin stretch. Marina, you can check this out, I call it front-facing Pajra Kunchanasana. Lindsay V, same thing. So I just want you to have lots and lots of choices for your hip flexors, because the hip flexors get very tight. Gail, I think your trunk support also could go a little scooted to your head side. It looks like it's very close to the buttocks, but if you feel that it isn't, I'll rely on your wisdom. Lubna, that's really good. Now you got to go flat. So you did the pumping in Paryankasana, love that idea. I didn't show that, Julia, you could have done that too, you know that, doing the pumping in the Paryankasana shape. So then it's more like Kapotasana, but the blocks are on the still, yeah, the high side. And now, okay, Julia, now you're going down. All right, let's see, Lindsay M. All right, and now remember, Ellen, you're gonna go to Supta Virasana. So you might need that bolster blanket unless you want to stay in Paryankasana. Make sure anyone flat that if you put your hand on the navel band, it's not pushing forward. Lubna, watch the thighs from my angle, and I could be very off. The left leg looks like it's going out to the side. Everybody turn the inner knees to the outer knees. Someone, I think it was Lana that was saying, you know, and I so agree with her. She's not here today, but if you don't practice Supta Virasana, you know, in a month, it gets really hard. It's one of those poses that, you know, like full arm balance, handstand, you have to do on somewhat of a regular basis because those hip flexors get tight. Okay, now did you all check the arms overhead? Touch that, at least touch that. Good, Marina. All right, and then when you're ready, place the hands in the arches of the feet, and everyone give a good stretch to their legs in Dandasana. All right, so I'm going to give you a choice of what calf stretch you'd like to do. So many of you have your hands at the wall, you step back. Some of you prefer, as I do, in the chair, seat in the chair with the belt. But you have to be mindful because this, you could fall out quite easily. And then this is to chisel. I'm using the strap to see. This is, if you don't use the belt, oftentimes the body winds up in this shape. So I'm using the belt to pull up on, and I chisel my tailbone. But I also don't want the chest, you know, to go forward. So the buttocks belong to the backs of the legs. If you have a chair, it's it would be, or stairs if you're nearby a stairs. You can do it at the wall. You can do it with 2 blocks. It's like, it reminds me of Dr. Seuss. You can do it anywhere with 2 blocks, with a chair, anywhere. All right, here we go. That's it, Marina. If you feel unsteady, please put the blocks at the wall. Yeah, that's it. That's good freestanding, Lubna. 1 foot at a time is good. Now, Lindsay V, just lift the pubic bone up strongly. Lift the pubic bone up. Yeah, Johnny, cushion the chair, that bottom of the chair, so that, I will say it's easier if you wear a sneaker, there's no question. Good, Marina. All right, now slowly, mindfully come off the blocks, out of the chair. Although those of you in the chair, you could come forward. That's a possibility. Carla showed that on Tuesday, for those of you who are here. Now, I want you to do 2 iterations of Adho Mukha Svanasana, the first being with the hands at the wall. If you don't have a wall, use blocks, okay? So Adho Mukha Svanasana with your hands, thumb and index finger at the wall. Now, this is a very, very good way to do Adho Mukha Svanasana, to straighten the arms, Janet, Marina. It's really good for the joints. All right, here we go. So blocks, yeah, you can also use blocks at the wall, but if you don't have a wall, just put your thumb and index finger at the bottom side of the brick. So this first one is for and from the arms. Use the hands on the floor to turn the biceps flush. Take the shoulder blades flat. Take a glance at the feet. See that, first of all, see that your stance is not too short, and move your inner heels away from each other. Should feel, that's Lindsay, that's good. You can do it that way. Janet, that's a good distance. I would, you know, I appreciate the stance. Just walk in a smidge, 1/4 inch maybe for Janet. Get the heels down. Sink, good Marina, sink the heels down. Remember to suck the outer shins in. Don't let the outer shins bow out. But as you move the outer shins in, don't let the inner knees collide. Okay, now come down. And now put your heels at the wall. So turn yourself around. Remember, when you do it this way, there's a tendency to go too short, and then you'll have to walk the hands out, but you'll see. Do this to elongate the spine. Now with the heels either up at the baseboard or down on the floor, lift the toes up. Toes up, heels down. Heels down, toes up, shins in, inner knees out. Good. All right, now you might, if your heels are up at the wall, you might have to inch out a little bit so the feet will stay on the floor. Now walk your hands back toward your feet and glue your thighs to the wall in hip width apart Uttanasana. If this bothers, if Julia, if it bothers you to have your head down with the congestion, then just do half Uttanasana with hands at the wall. And because sometimes the head down is problematic, be it dog pose or this. Lubna, imagine I'm standing right in front of you and pressing your thighs back. All the skin pressing into the wall. I know, Lubna, that's challenging because I think there's a baseboard there, right? Yeah. So then it becomes impossible. And Val, for you, the calves to the shins. Of course, if there's a baseboard, the very best way is to put a thin roll, like a little pashmina scarf, behind the back of your calf and move it in that manner. Now to come out gracefully, walk away from the wall, inhale, up you come. Okay, now we're doing Supta Padangusthasana 1. Have a block and a belt nearby. Ideally, feet to the wall. Take Dvipada. Actually, don't take Dvipada, we'll do Ekapada. So you'll start in this manner. Supta Tadasana, knee in, belt across the ball of the foot, leg up, 90 degrees. There's no wall. You can put your feet against 2 blocks. Everyone has a wall here, though. All right, block is nearby for something else. Okay. All right, knee into the chest. Place your belt, which I like. I really do love this configuration of the belt the best. Janet, I always think of you when I do this every morning. So I have this Pune belt in a loop pretty much to the end. And then when I put the belt on, what I love about this is that I can relax my fingers. You see, my fingers are in the rung of the belt. So I don't have to, like have a death grip on the belt. It's a very, very good way. Yeah. That's it. Now, assess your situation. By this point, what have we done? We've been here, is that right? 10, quarter after 10 already? All right, we've been here some 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes. Your legs, your hamstrings should feel pretty good. Uttanasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So now use Supta Padangusthasana 1 as the quintessential hamstring and abdominal pose to get that leg straight. Many of you can benefit by pulling the toes down, lifting the heel up. So Gail, now we're in Supta 1. When you're ready, good, Julia. Now, once you've got the metrics, side ribs even, legs straight, go. Move the leg, move the leg, move the leg from 90 to 95, good, Val, to 100, to 110. We're not gonna lift the chest and the head up yet, we will do. Now find out in moving the leg, there's 2 things. One, did you bend the right leg? But also, did you let the left thigh fly up? Now, what's the remedy if the left thigh flies up? Putting a little bit of blanket underneath the left heel hinge. Or if you're at the wall, raising the left foot up slightly on the wall. Lindsay V, that's good. Move the leg. Note where your leg is in the airspace because you'll want to make a comparative study. Not so much visually, although certainly it helps. You'll be able to feel it more intuitively, one side tighter than the other. That's it, move the leg. Marina, that's really good. Really good. We're staying for about 2 minutes, only because this is the only Supta 1. Ellen, right above the knee, fine to bend the other leg, Janet. You're doing, that's a wonderful self-study for you. That leg will move beyond 90 when the obviously left leg is bent. Remember that left thigh rolls in. Lubna, that's good on your left thigh. Pressing down in the same way I was looking for that leg to belong to the wall. Good, good, good. Watch as those of you, Val and others who've gone way beyond 90, Watch how there's a tendency for the right hip to move out and for the right side to shorten. Because you know you're going to be in Parsvarottanasana. Good, you'll keep going. Okay, now Dvipada for symmetry. Dvipada, knees into the chest. That's it, John. Good. Now Ekapada, left knee in, right leg out. Pull the right thigh in, press it down. Take the leg to 90. Get the metrics, legs straight, side ribs even, and now you begin. Observe, you'll feel, usually you can feel the difference immediately. Of course, you can see the difference, but you can feel it, as evidenced by what I would almost say there's much more gliding motion in the leg that has more freedom. Move the leg. Resist any, if you find that you're clenching your teeth, or tension in your eyes or in your throat, put the work where it needs to be done, in the legs and in the abdominal work. The abdominal work is the abdomen moving back to the front of the spine. And then stay with it. So you're penetrating your consciousness with side ribs even, legs straight, moving the leg any amount with ease, without tension in the throat, without tension in the eyes, without tension in the mind. Okay. So stay 30 seconds longer just so that we don't shortchange the left. Okay. And now Chakam Dvipada for symmetry. Now, I usually don't do this, but I will today just as a small class. So I'm going to give you an option here. On Tuesday, this second iteration, we did more for the left groin. So you know this one. You're on your back, you put the block on the low, could be the medium if you want. And then this is again for the left thigh. It's also about the right hamstring, the Kunchanasana. Now, because my pelvis is higher up, this thigh is going to be higher. So this is where that little support, a blanket underneath my left heel hinge would help. Now, here's what I want to just to be a little bit more creative. Those of you who want to do a chair back bend now can do it, because what you're doing in the chair back bend is getting the two groins from the get-go. So I just want you to, I'm inclining your mind to that iteration of Supta Padangusthasana 1. That basically is like a chair back bend. So again, just watch me for a moment. Just because, Val, I really feel like in a given practice, it's nice to get one back bend in, even though this is clearly not a back bend practice. But just to compare Supta Padangusthasana iteration with the block underneath the pelvis to a chair back bend. So I'm in the chair. I'll just go through the lift, the reclining back, the coiling, extending of one leg and the other. And see, now both legs appreciate that beautiful groin stretch that's gleaned from doing one leg at a time. So of course it will take a shorter time to do the chair back bend, but you can, those of you who like back bends, Julia and others, you can do that. Those of you who don't want to do it, stay with the iteration of Supta Padangusthasana 1. We didn't do this on Tuesday, hence why it's always good to come twice. All right, here we go. All right, so chair back bend or Supta 1. Yeah, that's good. Now again, if that left thigh flies up, then either raise it up at the wall or put it on a, put the blanket, a little bit of blanket. So Val, the chair back bend. Julia, that looks really good. Lindsay. Janet, excellent. Lindsay V, I think you could come a little bit more off the chair, a little bit, bend the legs and then go to the head side. If you need to come up out of the back bend, do so and then go back in. My Supta Padangusthasana 1 people, change sides. Good. All right. When you're ready, you can change sides, Gail, when you're ready. Supta 1 with the block underneath, or Viparita Dandasana over chair twice. Julia, I hope this is not making your congestion worse. Because chair back bend's all the same thing, and the head is down. Ellen, that's good. All right. Arms can go overhead, Yukiko, as you're doing. That's good. All right. So Lindsay V, if you're, yeah, so instead of coming forward, you can do a twist in Bharadvajasana, might be a better interlude between the two back bends than a forward bend. Julia, that's it. Lubna, that's good. All right, now those of you in the chair, yes, to chair Bharadvajasana, Lubna. Yeah, while others are, we're just waiting for Gail and others who are in Supta 1. Okay, now the Supta 1 people can come out. Well done. All right, now we're going to Parsvottanasana, having done those iterations of Supta 1 or double in Viparita Dandasana. Do have 2 blocks, and today we're going to, I think I want everyone to use the back wall for the left heel. So I'm taking 2 blocks, and I want to show a little bit of a creative way to do this. So just hold on for a moment. All right, so when you're at the wall, yes, we can step back. That's a more moving along way. I'm placing my left foot against the wall, and then I'll turn my right leg out, and I use the wall to turn my left leg in. Not a lot, 30 degrees. And then I'm going to come forward and put the blocks much closer to the right heel than the toes. So this is our first stage of Parsvottanasana, like Supta 1, and then bring the chin down. Then what I want you to do on that same side is raise the ball of the right foot up, and then drop the ball of the right foot up and lift the back heel up. So I call this the rocker. So when I lift the right foot up, this is a beautiful calf stretch. And then when I lift that heel up, it's a calf strengthening. And then I rock back and forth. I rock back and forth. And then you'll walk back. You can use your hands. The best way to do is put your hands on the blocks, walk back, and take Uttanasana again at the wall, and then we'll repeat on the other side. So I hope you all got that. So for those of you who want to, focus on calf stretches, calf strengthening, also toe work, footwork, this is really an interesting way to do it. All right, so left heel is at the wall, just the way I showed. You're sideways to the wall, that's it. Now turn the right leg out. Left foot turns in a little bit, 30 degrees, not so much 60, because if you turn the back foot in too much, you lose the compactness of the hips. All right, now just raise the arms up so that you're lifting your pubic bone up. I didn't show that, that's okay. Now place the hands on the hips, make both legs straight. Janet, I think you can inch out a little bit with the right foot. Good, Marina. Now, keeping the legs straight, that's important. Bend forward. As you reach forward with the trunk, move the thighs back. Take the very first stage of Parsvottanasana, back concave. Lindsay, then that's too high. Yeah, back concave. Val, that's too high. The shoulders are higher than the hips. Most of you can be on flat palm on the low side or fingertips, I think. Good, Ellen. All right, now keep the legs straight and bow down. Keep the legs straight and bow down. Full pose. All right, now come back to the first stage, back concave, and then lift the ball of the right foot up. So you're getting the calf stretch of the right foot. And now pedal to the metal, that's it, Val. Lift the back heel up. Even though I know it's at the wall, you can lift the back heel up. And then rock back and forth. Rock back and forth. You can do it quickly. That's it. Rock back and forth. So sole the foot up, sole the foot down, heel the back foot up. That's it. Go back and forth. All right, now seal the hands to the blocks, and then bend your right leg. Walk your hands back toward the wall and take Uttanasana at the wall. Uttanasana at the wall, which we did earlier. That's it. Move the legs to the wall. So the legs learn how to open when they have something to press into, like they did when the heels were at the wall. Feet can be hip width apart, it's easier on the back. All right, now walk to come out, walk forward of the wall, place the hands on the hips, up you come. That's the very, so you don't topple over. Okay, now place your right foot at the wall. Same exact thing, Parsvottanasana. All right, so start with the metrics of two things. One, the stance has to be long enough. Janet, inch out with left foot. Legs have to be straight, chest perpendicular, right? So now you're turning around, yeah, now turn the back, right foot in, left leg out, legs straight. Supta one. Chest up, raise arms up, get the lift of, use the arms to get the lift of the pubic bone. Now, keeping that, then bring the hands down to the hips, legs straight, back leg should not bend. Be with your back heel. Now exhale, bend forward, take the first stage. Maybe if this left hamstring's easier, as you noted in Supta 1 cycle, then you don't need the blocks as high. Okay, now go down. Let the elbows go out. Bring the chin to the shin. Shin to the chin. Shin to the shin. Okay, now rocker. Raise the ball of the left foot. Yes, that's your calf stretch. Lift the back heel up and go back and forth. Actually, what you'll feel the pelvis lifting up because the abdomen is engaged. Back and forth, like a rocker. Back and forth, back and forth. That's it. Okay, now place the hands flat on the floor. If you can't, put the blocks there. And now step back, walk the hands back toward the wall. Reach the left leg back. Yes, glue the legs to the wall. Really glue them. Use that wall to open the backs of the legs. Imagine I'm standing in front of you and I have my hands on your outer shins. Outer shins in. Yeah, you can do that with your own hands. Outer shins in, inner knees away. Spread the backs of the thighs. Now walk your body away from the wall. Place the hands on the hips and inhale up you come. Now just take a strap around your neck so you'll have it. I'm going to move from repeating Utthita Baddhasana again, facing the wall, to Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana with support. So it doesn't matter which leg you take. So now I'm facing the wall because I'm going to face the wall in Utthita Baddhasana, just so it's seamless. And I repeat. Now challenge yourself this time to hold the foot with both hands and aim the heel to the outer butt. All right, so this is the same pose facing the wall. Some people find this easier because, not easier, you'll get better proprioception of your chest coming forward. Ellen said, yeah, so I want the chest parallel to the ceiling. Parallel to the wall, sorry. Marina, that's good. Now, hold the foot, try this, yeah, challenge yourself to hold the foot with two hands. Again, good for the joints, and aim the heel to the outer right buttock. Now everybody lift from the right side of the pubic bone and abduct, pin in. Don't lean on that left side. Well done. Change sides. Lindsay V, just watch the chest coming forward. Yeah, because when it comes forward, it's an indication that the groin is slightly tight. All right, you're holding the left foot. Good, Lubna. Lubna, that's really good. The buttock flesh is moving down. The side ribs are lifting up and go. That's it, Lindsay. Go, go, go. Utthita Baddhasana. We're opening those frontal groins like we did in Supta Virasana. You'll see how easily Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana comes. All right, everyone have a belt. You're still facing the wall. You all know it. I don't need to show it. All right, now you're facing the wall. And I will say that most people start with this pose too far back. All right. So remember, when you're doing Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana, and I don't like to say it's a pet, I would say that when you take the strap, don't put the strap on here and then elevate the foot. It's better to lift the leg up like this, put the belt on, and then quickly take the foot to the wall, okay? So let's try that. Because what happens if you put the belt on underneath the foot, the chest often goes back. That's a jet. So quickly stay with we're standing on our right leg, lift the left, and quickly extend the left leg to the wall. Quickly, quickly. Now, Marina, see how your foot is really, you step in a little bit, a good deal more because the foot is so far behind that thigh of the standing leg. And this is the tendency. All right, now both get the metrics, the Lindsay. Legs are straight, side ribs even. Val, it looks to me that you also can step in a little bit. Julia, step in. Most of the time, I will say you're just knowing the tendencies. Good, Janet, you're too far back. Yes, hold the strap again with a sense of ease. So this is support. Marina, just a smidge in, a smidge closer in, and Ellen, root of the thigh back. The leg wants to bend, the legs want to bend, don't let them. Okay, and descend, well done. So just make a minute, it's very common for you to be too far back. So come in closer than you think. There is a way you can get the measurement. Mary Beth showed it on Tuesday. I don't know if you remembered it from Dandasan, but sometimes it doesn't work. So I always say closer than you think, because that to me is better. All right, here we go. Stand on your left, take up the right. So what I would do is lift your right leg up and then quickly put the belt on, but at the same time, press the root of the left thigh back and then outstretch in that order, and that will work. That's it, Luna. Good. Marina, perfect. Now you've got it. Watch the, Yukiko, take a little more slack on the strap, so because it's so short that the trunk is coming forward. That's another little pet peeve and obstacle on the way. Okay, these look really good. Really good. All right, and now come out. Now we're going, listen, if this bothers anyone's hips, and we did this 2 weeks ago, and I got some feedback, at least from one of the students, that it was problematic on their hips, then do Virabhadrasana 1 freestanding. A lot of this has to do with the measurement of the chair. So I'm basically putting my pelvis on the chair. And I'm doing Virabhadrasana 1 in the chair, not to make my life easier, but it's a wonderful way of, you can stay in the pose long, and I'm using my left hand to turn the left thigh. I'll show you from the back, from the inside out. I'm doing this in service, once again, of opening that left frontal groin. If it doesn't work for you, this is Virabhadrasana 1 on the chair, then don't do it, and be on the ball of the back foot, Janet. Then use your left hand to turn, that's it, Julia, turn the thigh. If you need more height, Marina, underneath the chair seat with a blanket, which some people will need. That's it, Val. Now put your hands on the backrest. Yeah, and use your hands on the backrest to lift your trunk up. This is if the chair seat geometry works for you, it's an amazing way to stay in the pose. That's fine, Ellen, and turn the back thigh. Good, Marina. You can pronate the palms on the chair also. That will help. I mean, it's not wrong to hold the backrest, but there's something about pronating the hands on the backrest that you gets those shoulder blades, good, Val, to move in. All right, turn main event here. Marina, that's gorgeous. Turn the back thigh from the inside out. Get that left groin to open. That's the reason. Remember, this is the Hanumanasana, back leg. I'm saying that to plant the seeds. Change sides. All right. This is why I call it the only leg stretches you'll ever need. Ellen, that's good. Now use your hand to turn, be on the ball of the back foot, because when you're on the ball of the back foot, Lubna, yes, bring the left hip around. Left hip has to come around. Be on the baby toe side of that back foot. The left foot, that's it, Gail. Now, pronate the palms on the seat of the chair and use it to get the shoulder blades flat on the back. These look good, flat on the back. So you can, for most of you, I suspect, I hope you're saying to yourself, does your Virabhadrasana 1 freestanding look like this? Does it feel like this? Probably not. Probably not. Or maybe, but probably not. Okay, now come out. All right, now we're doing modified Virabhadrasana 3, which we did not do on Tuesday. Take your 2 blocks. The reason why I'm saying take 2 blocks is we want to get the body, it's not just 2 blocks, it's 2 blocks at the high height. So watch, because this is what I often see. The metrics of Warrior 3 is such that the body needs to be parallel to the floor. So if you go too much higher, too much lower, the chest will sink. So again, we're doing this for the groin. You'll stand on the right and lift the left leg up. So becoming one with our groin. Gals, come in, so have the blocks right in front of the feet. That's the first thing, on the high side, 2 blocks. Now reach up to get length. Exhale, bend forward. Place the hands on the blocks, probably flat palm, that's a Julia. All right, now you're going to lift your left leg up. And take a glance at the screen. If you can see yourself, see that your body is parallel to the floor. Lindsay, yeah, if you're doing it with the heel at the wall, it's even harder to get them in. Now, Janet, can you lift that leg to at least 90? That's it. Now descend the leg. It's hard to lift the aerial leg. The aerial leg has nothing to push into. All right, start again. Arms up, reach up, exhale, bend forward. Okay, now we're standing on the left leg. So pull up, press the left foot, pull up. Did I say that right? Yeah. Pull up from the knee to the hip and now raise the root of the right thigh up. Parallel. Marina, that's almost too high now because the shoulders are higher than the hips. Yeah, that's something of those blocks are making it. Marina, go to a lower size block and let me see it. Yeah, the medium. Yeah, and now lower the leg a little bit so that the aerial leg, just for Marina, so that it's more, that's beautiful. Okay, and now descend the leg. All right, now take Adho Mukha Svanasana. We did it, just think. We did hands at the wall, feet at the wall. Now I want a freestanding because we're going to take the leg up like we just did in Warrior 3, so it all makes sense. If you need the blocks at the wall, that's fine with them. All right. Here we go. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now bring the feet together. Bring the feet together. All right, now look at your frontal hip bones. I want even hips. Lift the root of the right thigh up. Lift the leg from the abdomen. Yes, you're lifting the leg, but lift from the abdomen. Legs are straight. Think of Supta 1. Think of Parsvottanasana. Descend the root. And other side. Lift the left root of the thigh. Lift from the abdomen. If those of you who are struggling to lift the leg, sense you're lifting it from the abdomen, from the organic part. Okay, now descend the leg. All right, lie flat on your back. And we're going to the full Supta 1 where you're holding the big toe, the sides of the foot or back of the heel, and then taking the shin to the chin. Now, I know I demonstrated that in 3 seconds. I want you to make this a process. So you can start with the strap. And then you're going to go to the full pose. If you've had any neck pain, have a bolster nearby, you can support your head. Or now, for some of you who find it easy, you don't need the strap. Lindsay, now there's you just start holding the big toe between the first 2 fingers and thumb. And then again, but don't lift the chest and head yet. That's like a minute in. So go slowly with this and explore the different hand positions. That's it, Julia. First holding the big toe, about 30 seconds there. Then the sides of the foot, another 30 seconds. Then move the hands back to the heel. Then it's raising the chest and head. Then you keep hold of the foot, I'll say when you go there, and move the leg toward you. So now you're probably about holding the sides of the foot, for those who can. Otherwise, you're holding the big toe. Again, note if this is the more challenging side, then it's going to be more challenging. Now see, walk the hands to hold the back of the heel, back of the heel, back of the heel. All right, then what your intention is to take the leg with you as you raise the chest, raise the head, but don't let the leg go back. You have to bring it with you. That's it, Lindsay. Bring it with you, bring it with you, bring it with you. You'll feel it's very abdominal.
Now, yeah, when Ellen became, it's abdominal, yeah, very abdominal. Yeah, is it, you're feeling the hamstring? Yeah. If it's painful, Ellen, don't go to the max, or you can put a block like this way, Ellen. This might be more therapeutic at this point. Just put a block the back of that hamstring and spread the fibers horizontally. Change sides when you're ready, Janet, that's good. And hopefully by now, you're feeling, hopefully, Janet, you're feeling, these leg stretches, not so bad after all. Not so bad. They're palatable. Yeah. I mean, that's what we want to do the asanas with ease. We don't want we certainly don't want pain, nor would I say a tremendous amount of discomfort. We also don't want mental discomfort in terms of be it confusion or feeling less than. Okay, if you need to rest, please do. So we're using Supta 1 now as a platform to do the standing split. Anyone who has an issue with back pain, maybe child's pose supported could feel now versus even going back to Supta Panisthasana 1. All right, so the standing split, let me get my highlight person on. So who would like to demonstrate the standing split? Urdhva Prasarita Eka Padasana with the hands on the floor, not the final, just the hands on the floor. Okay, there's no takers. All right, so I'll have to demonstrate. All right, so watch. I'm going to take 2 blocks, and you'll see this is sort of the crescendo of the class, which makes clearly sense, not just because it's the end, but because it's the most challenging pose. But I will say, Lindsay V, you can do child's pose. Once you see me do the pose, you'll see why it's challenging on the back. All right, so watch. The blocks are going to go in front of my feet. All right. There's actually 2 distinctive ways to come into this. Let's see if we can get to both. The arms come up and the arms come down. And I'm going to be in my concave backstage of basically Uttanasana. So I'm here in half Uttanasana, and then I'm going to stand on the right leg, and I'm going to lift the left leg up. So I lift the left leg, the area leg, when the back is concave. Then I walk the blocks back toward my heel, and I know I don't need to have the blocks now, and then I bow down, all right? And then, of course, you'll do the other side, all right? Urdhva Prasarita Eka Padasana. I'll take you through it, so don't worry. If you're getting tired, Jada, yeah, the other thing you could do is put the bolster. Those of you tired, try this. You can also do Chatus Padasana, which will feel good on the hamstrings. But if you're tired, do an anterior facing child's pose, which will feel good, and then maybe Chatus Padasana, meaning or bridging, something like that. Okay, so show me in profile. All right, let me have the blocks in front of you. Okay. Ellen, I think it'll be too much on the abdomen. No, that's good, what you're doing. Okay, very good. Everybody's red. Arms up. Reach up. Exhale, bend forward, take Uttanasana, back concave. Bring the feet together, guys, now. Bring the feet together. All right, back concave, shoulder blades on the back. Now we're standing on the right leg. So press the right foot down, draw up strongly from the knee to the hip. And now when the back is concave, lift the left leg like you did in Warrior 3 and One-Legged Dog. Now quickly walk your hands back. Some of you won't need, good Val. You won't need the blocks. Now pin in at the corner of the right hip, because you can see when you're standing on one leg, there's that tendency to move the right hip out. These look beautiful. Marina, good. All right, now descend the right leg. Well done. Inhale and up you come. Those look great. So those of you, if you did child's pose and want to just go back to doing something else in a forward bend configuration, you could do, Janet, also now, Ellen, now you could also do Paschimottanasana. Okay, others of you stand on your left leg. All right, raise the arms up. Exhale, bend forward. Uttanasana. Now Back concave, lift the root of the right thigh up, lift, keep the leg straight when the back is concave. Now walk the hands back toward the heel and go down. Remember Parsvottanasana, but don't let, if you can, bow that right, keep that right leg poker stiff, left leg poker stiff, good. And now descend that leg and inhale, up you come. Now those of you who did Urdhva Prasarita Ekapadasana, we have a bit of time, but we'll rush through it. You could do Hanumanasana now. So you'll take a bolster, and it's very similar to that warrior one position that we did. So depending on your right or left leg, if that's the front leg, support your buttock bone, unless you can do it flat. Yukiko, you were close to flat the last time I saw you. Hanumanasana. Make sure that, Val, is the buttock bone supported or no? Right buttock bone. So make sure you're that I don't want that right buttock bone to not be on the surface. Those of you who've had enough, yes, Jen, yeah. So someone, Lana, had reminded me that we hadn't done Setu Bandha at the wall. So let me just show this quickly. So Setu Bandha, you will use 2 blocks. That many of you can do this now. 1 block goes on the high side at the wall. Now the tendency is to be too far away from the wall, Lift your pelvis up and then extend one leg so the 2 feet are on the blocks. Personally, this pose is much better with 4 blocks, side by side underneath the sacrum, side by side underneath the feet. But I know that most of you don't have 4, but if you had 3, put 2 underneath your pelvis. Scale is the way I used to teach it, remember? And then 1 on, if you had 3, or put it on a bolster. That's the other option. You can put your feet on a bolster. Okay, Hanumanasana, everybody. Otherwise, Hanumanasana. Good, Val. Now turn the back leg from the inside out to bring that back hip more around. Julia, looks a little high. You could go lower. Marina, remember just the buttock bone, not so much the back of the thigh. Lumna, now see if you can, yes, that's it. Turn the thigh. Otherwise, you're in Setu Bandha at the wall. Ellen, that's good. I think, Ellen, in order not to have anything go wrong with the back, I think you're a little bit too far away from the wall. So bend your legs and scoot that great closer to the wall. So the feet should be actually on the wall. Change side, Hanumanasana, people. Okay, these look good. I know we rushed toward the end, but we were so close. Lindsay, watch the thighs. Don't let them roll out in any way. Setu Bandha, yes. And then I was just going to say that, Ellen. Then you can go, Gail, to Viparita Karani with the legs at 90 degrees. Now that's good. All right, now my Hanumanasana people, Viparita Karani people, you Hanumanasana people go to Setu Bandha with 2 blocks at the wall. I'd like to see that. Viparita Karani people, just stay there. So those of you who just did Hanumanasana, many of you, Julia and Lumna, do Setu Bandha at the wall. If you have 4 blocks, it's wonderful to do. So each foot, Lumna, is on each respective block, and then 2 block scale if you have it underneath the sacrum, because I know that works better for you. It doesn't feel stable with 1 block underneath the sacrum. So come into it, Marina, my friend, wait, come into it this way. So the pelvis is down, and then you lift up, you put the 2 blocks side by side, then you extend the legs to the wall versus coming into the way you did. Yeah. And then now to finish, bend your elbows, have your upper arms, that's it, alongside your body, and then have your palms facing your eyes to get the shoulder blades secure on the back and to get the chest upright. We'll finish here. Some of you also may feel that if your feet were belted, it would be advantageous in this pose. And then Viparita Karani, Val, when you're ready, you can take one leg away from the wall, then the other, then one leg, then the other, and legs straight. not the Viparita Karani at the wall, but the Viparita Karani the way it's so often done when there's no wall space. I will say that even though we wound up in Setu one of the best things you can do is after you've done the hamstring work, leg stretches, is do several rounds of Chatuspadasana to strengthen the hamstrings. Or even Ekapada Bekasana again. Any kind of back bend strengthens the hamstring. So now when you're ready, slowly come out, bend the legs, place the feet flat on the floor. Move the bricks. And just take the knees into the chest. And I think before we do Shavasana, I'll give you two choices. You can do child's pose as a segue into Shavasana, anterior facing with bolster, or you can do Paschimottanasana, but not with the attitude of getting better in either pose, but just to relax. The sense that you're undoing as a segue into Shavasana. So child's pose, especially if your hamstrings are tight, then of course, and hopefully they feel less tight now, you can do child's pose. But if their hamstrings have been, feel good, then of course, Paschimottanasana. That's it. Okay, just wait there. Paschimottanasana is a wonderful pose to do before Shavasana, as is child's pose. And sometimes child's pose is often done after Shavasana. So think of Shavasana as a, like the first few poses what we do before the sequences, you almost need a pathway in. And that's why if classes are only an hour and a half and you end on a high note, there's not enough time to make that pathway into Shavasana. And then particularly for those of you who's, if you want to do something helpful for your back, then Janet, well, what you're doing, lower legs on the seat of the chair is helpful, or knees on a bolster, or you can go prone. Those are the best Shavasans for your back, or just flat. So take time to create a platform in which you can have a peaceful relaxation, or if you want to sit, that's fine too. Now, once again, taking an inner bow to yourself for coming to class, honoring your own dedication and interest to all of your aspirations in life. And then you can begin by bowing once again to your body, mindful of the body. Lying down, know that you're lying down. Sitting, know that you're sitting. And then once again, inwardly bowing to the visiting thoughts, and they are visiting, and the visiting mind states and emotions. Acknowledging them, but not being caught up in them. Knowing their nature, their true nature, which is to exist for a short time and then pass away. Additionally, opening up to sounds around you, internal sounds. Allow yourself to feel that you're opening up to everything and everyone, leaving nothing and no one out. Rest in that awareness. Perhaps noticing more internal space inside you, noticing space around you. When ready, can easily transition to an upright position of your choice. Mindful again of sitting, mindful of mind states, bowing to mind states and emotions.